Hi, my name is Lucy and I'm from the Jackson District Library. Today I'm going to show you one of the many databases available from MEL, which is Michigan eLibrary. Now, Michigan eLibrary is free for everyone who lives in the state of Michigan. If you're outside the state of Michigan, it's not going to work unless you've got a library card. For you, it's going to be a JDL library card or a driver's license that is registered as a state of Michigan driver's license. All right, first we're going to go to the e-resources tab to find our databases. Today's database is Gale In Context. So we're going to scroll down and we're going to go to e-resources by letter. And the letter today is G. This is the easiest way to find everything. We're going to be looking at Gale In Context opposing viewpoints. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. It's doing this authorizing location thing. That's making sure that we're in the state of Michigan. All right, now that we are here, I love Gale In Context. It is so helpful. This one is great for when you are trying to research a hot button issue that has a whole bunch of different sides and a whole bunch of different viewpoints on it. But before you get too very far into it, I want to make sure that you know to save your work. Please save your work. As a former student, seriously, if you don't want to do your research twice. So up at the top on the right hand side, you're going to see a sign in with Google or sign in with Microsoft button. If you click on that, it'll take you to a sign in screen and make you do all of the signing in things. I'm not going to do it today, but that's what you're going to want to do when you are doing your own research. Otherwise, when you find the articles that you're looking for, you're going to save them to your folder and it's going to be lost. You do have another option of emailing them to yourself later on. That will work as well if you do not have a Google or a Microsoft account. All right. I love this site because it has a whole bunch of different issues. If you don't know what issues you're after, we've got this lovely space down here that is a banner bar showing some of the most popular ones right now. Talking about women in politics because I'm recording this video in November of 2020, which is right after the election. So we've also got a bunch of stuff on voting laws and employments and job creation because it's 2020 and we're working with the COVID-19 pandemic. All right, as well as the freedom of assembly. If you want to see some other issues besides those main four, you scroll down a little further and you get to see the browse issues. We've got all sorts of different categories. We've got a good 8 different categories of information that you can find here. If any of these main topics are interesting, you can go ahead and click on them. If you're not interested in any of these specific ones that show up, you can always go ahead and browse all 467 issues. We're going to do that so that I can show you a little bit more detail here. Now, this will show you all of the topics that opposing viewpoints, Gale In Context has to offer. You'll also see these orange boxes that say updated. Every once in a while, you'll find a new one. I'm not seeing any today. These have been recently updated with new information from the various media sources that we're working with in the world right now. They also create their own articles based on what's going on as well. You will see some of that throughout this recording. I am going to go ahead and click on one of these, and I'm going to click on one that's been updated recently. When you get into the article, you're going to see that you've got an overview right here at the top. And you can click read more. Great. I didn't know anything about this, so I clicked on it so that I could learn a little bit more. And that gives you the full overview of what is going on in this issue. So on the right-hand side, you'll see a few more related articles. You'll also see the article contents for this particular article, and then some related subjects that you may find helpful if you're doing a full-on research paper with this. Before I go any further, I do want to point out at the very top on the right-hand side, we have Cite, we have Print, we have Download, and we have Send To. We also have the option to highlight, but really seriously, I'm going to talk first about citing. You always want to cite your sources. This is the way that anyone who's around you will know exactly where you got your information from. If you're writing a research paper, it is required to cite when you learn something that is not already in your head before you start working on the paper. If you do not cite, it's called plagiarism, and it has many, many serious consequences, some of which have included failing the paper, failing the class, and even being suspended from school for a particular amount of time. It varies depending on your academic institution, but seriously, cite your sources. It's really easy to do. That way you don't have to worry about the plagiarism consequences. In this citation tool here in Gale In Context, We have the MLA 8th edition, we have the APA 7th edition, the Chicago 17th, and the Harvard. If you're in a high school, usually it's going to be MLA. And it gives you the full citation. You do still want to look it over. You can select it. You can also send that straight to one of your favorite citation sources. Personally, mine's Google Drive. It's just the fastest one for me. Now that you have those things all taken care of, you can go ahead and finish reading your article and making sure that you know exactly what you're going on about. All right, now we're going to go back to that previous page because I want to show you some of the other things that make Gale In Context opposing viewpoints amazing. Most of us aren't just readers. Personally, I am a visual person very, very heavily, but I also love listening to things. What this site does is it collects all the viewpoints, which are great secondary sources for you to work with when you're working on your paper. It also collects all the primary sources on the topic. It also collects all the news, reference. It even records or collects all of the videos that have been done on your topic, as well as all of the audio recordings. And if you click on any one of these, you will find all of that information just nice and easily listed. Okay, so you can see the lovely list here of all of the different audio broadcasts that have been done on this topic. If you've got a really broad topic, something like school lunch, and you're not sure how to narrow it down because you're finding you end up with results of like thousands at a time, and that's completely unmanageable for a research paper, we've got a handy little tool here in Gale In Context. I'm going to take school lunches and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to search for it. And you will find all of the different documents, and you'll find that it's got a whole bunch of information here. But if we go to, on the right-hand side, we've got this lovely thing called the Topic Finder. If you start the Topic Finder, you can take that wonderful set of information of your school lunch that you just typed into your search bar, and you can see that it's broken down into different tiles, different groupings of information. So we've got school districts and school lunches, we've got school lunch programs, we've got free lunches, we've got all sorts of different things. I'm going to focus on the red and orangish ones because they're going to have a more limited number of sources, but they're going to have a few more than the green ones will. So we're going to go to free lunches. And then it's going to show me all of the different topics within free lunches tile. Okay, so we've got food and secure children, coronavirus closing schools, cable, CNN, agriculture is another tile, food stamps, and the Trump administration. We've also got assistance programs and school year. I'm more interested in agriculture and how it relates to school lunches. So I'm going to click on agriculture. All right, I've got it down to 11. And I can take a look at these different articles here and do my research based on that. I'm so thankful that we've got the Topic Finder to help us find the different facets of an issue. If you need any other questions answered on Topic Finder or Gale In Context opposing viewpoints, please email adultservices@myjdl.com or give us a call at 905-1358.